Look, he's come to say hello. He says hello. I know this video is about me. Like, hey everyone. So Pearl will move out the way, which apparently she's eating really important for us. So I'll lie down. But this little guy was born on Saturday at 10:28 p.m. So it's now Tuesday, so Sunday, Monday. He's like 2.5, almost 3 days old now. So this is Thursday, 2 days before Pearl foaled. As you can see, she was very happy and excited to be training and wanted to play as well, like do high energy stuff despite being huge, and I swear she must have been uncomfortable, so I was creative and we did some obstacles instead. And then this is her udder Thursday as well, so 2 days before foaling. So it was big but not that big. And then Friday her pH level dropped to 6.2, and when the pH drops to 6.2, that genuinely means they're going to foal within the next, I think it's 72 hours. I think it's actually below 6.4, the pH. But anyway, that was really exciting. So I kept a close eye on her. It looked like this Saturday, and this was Saturday morning. You can see she had a little bit of wax. And then this is Saturday night, I think about 7 p.m. And you see the weather was packing it in. So made her a little shelter, but of course she didn't want to fall in there. And then it was heaps of wax about 9 p.m. there in the dark. And then she foaled, like, not that long after, like at 10:30 at night. Her foaling story is, so when I saw all that wax on her teats, I was like, must be going to be close soon, and I knew her pH was under 6.4 as well. So I was like keeping a close eye on her, and then she was really restless basically. She was kind of eating but didn't want to, was actually really itchy and kept like looking at her belly and wanted me to itch her belly, so I was itching her belly, and she was just walking around, didn't seem to want to be able to find a place to just like chill out and rest. Like I said, it's pissing down with rain outside and freezing cold. I'm like shivering through my jacket. The temperature had gone from like 28 degrees the day before to like a high of 14 degrees, so it literally halved, and it was really windy too and really wet, so it was not a very nice day slash night for her to decide to foal. But she did anyway, so she was acting really restless. I was like, okay, she's definitely about to foal. Like, so I ran to the house to get my camera and tell my mum, and then I came back. She was at the shed when I left, and she was gone. And she's free around the house to choose where she would like to foal and also to try and get out the weather. So I ran down the driveway to try and see her, which was like quite a steep hill, and she wasn't down there, and I had to run back up. And then I found her right by the house. So I don't know if she followed me up when I went to the house to get my stuff, and then I missed her because it was dark, but she was laying down under a big tree, and there was a hoof poking out. So for the first time I got to see a foal be born, the whole process, because I've seen a few foals literally just minutes after they've been born, but I've always missed the foaling until now. So she was nice enough to let me watch her foal, and everything went well. Like, it was just normal white bag delivery, and yeah, he could breathe. Straight away it broke, so he could breathe. And yeah, Pearl did find it a little bit hard to push him out, but Mum helped, but I'm sure she would have got there in the end on her own anyway. And then yeah, the next morning she was quite happy to bring him over and be like, hi. He was freezing cold though, so I brought him into the shed, which Pearl would bring him into sometimes, so he was just shaking, and we got a little dog cover to try and put on him. Obviously it was hard because even though he hasn't had any bad experiences with people, he hasn't had any good experience either. It's just, I don't know what these strange aliens are, and I've only been Earthside for like, I don't know, I think it was like 10 hours at this point. It might have been a bit longer, but I'd had a couple of cuddles with him where he'd come up to me. So the main thing I wanted to do was just try and make it a relatively good experience and not corner him or trap him. So you see I put it on him, and then he walked off, and I didn't follow him. It was just like, okay, you can come back to me when you're ready. And then I gave him more scratches and just moved the cover over, and he's like, this is quite good. The main thing I find is just to move really slowly, and once again just let him choose when he wants to interact with me, because he doesn't think it's bad, he's just not quite sure. And he's also cold, which obviously makes him everything harder. And then this is just in 2 times speed, but I'm scratching him and doing the velcro off, and I'm not holding him there, I'm just moving with him, and he did really, really good. And Pearl's just eating to make it a positive experience for Pearl.
And then I just sat down, and you can see he comes over to me and he asks for cuddles. It might be a bit hard to see, but he drops his head and he actually touches me, and it's more to like the vibes I get. He's like very clearly being like yes, and then you can cuddle me, and then I stop to be like, can I do it again? And he's like, yeah, you can cuddle me again. So I'm just layering in, letting him know that he has a choice right from the beginning. And yeah, he is so cute. Like, look, I always forget how they lay down to start with. They don't have much control and they kind of just flop down. And then him learning, obviously, about his legs.
Go. Run. And go zoomies again. The rear. What are you doing? Don't run into me. I feel good, you're just having scratches, aren't you? Mummy wants to scratch you. Oh no, it's starting to rain and I took your cover off because I thought the sun had come out. He's not sure about trees. Oh no. You're funny. Whee.
And then, whenever it stopped raining, he basically runs around and around and around. I think he was born in such a wet weather, cold weather. When it's cold and wet, he's literally too miserable to run around. I mean, fair enough. So he's really cold and tired and just wants to sleep and rest and eat, which I mean, Foals do anyway. But then when it warms up, he suddenly has all this energy. And he's like, goes, before he slows down again.
What are you doing, little guy?
So as you can see, he likes to harass his mummy. So he really loves his mummy, so he stays close to her.
Hi, Phil. Did you want to say hello to the camera? No? Hi.
He does listen to his mum, even if he tries to like kick her sometimes, but he's still figuring out his legs. And just everything about him, he's like learning about scratching himself and balancing on 3 legs, and what he can eat and what he can't eat. And Pearl's really sweet. Whenever he's drinking, she nibbles his back legs, which he doesn't like, and then he often tries to kick her, and then he stops drinking, and then she's like, drink, and yeah. They haven't quite worked out a proper routine for that yet, but they'll get there.
Wait, Phil, don't come too fast. Good boy, Chief.
And then, yeah, these are just some cute clips of him over the first, 3 days of him being alive. Or, yeah, being alive, even though he was alive in his mummy's tummy, being alive out in the world.
Because I got your puppy, Mommy. What's Phil doing?
The other thing I wanted to say was basically with Pearl, I've always just been, as much as I check in with the little guy and be like, hey, can I do this to you? I wouldn't normally put a cover on if he was running away from me or whatever. It's all only if it's okay with you. But with Pearl, is it okay with her as well? And make sure she's getting cuddles and attention, which she really likes. But if she didn't want them, I wouldn't do it. But it's just remembering that it's her baby, so not pushing in and forcing myself to interact with the baby if Pearl didn't want me to.